Beloved soul, if you found this, maybe you too are a seeker, a healer, just like me. Maybe you too are at a crossroads in life where the new identity has shown up. It's knocking on the door and you're not really opening the door. I am going to share this in just a free-flowing download that I've received that I feel really called and moved to share in a long-form video. This is my first video and not quite sure what's going to come through and not quite sure of the consistency, but I am very moved to share this on this eclipse today. I just completed a tea ceremony, Cha Dao, the way of tea. It is my primary self-cultivation practice, and something really hit me in the center of my chest. Of course, not physically, but a download, a breakthrough I've been waiting for. I, like maybe many of you, have so many gifts, so many talents, and have been unsure on how to monetize or how to allow these gifts to sustain me on planet Earth. And there's been a lot of push and pull and confusion, and I've been on this path of self-healing for a long time, long time. Time is such an illusion. Since 2019, and of course it began as a way to heal my own heartbreak. And here I am, 2026, although the last few years feel like such a blur, more of a confirmation that time is an illusion. And here I am feeling so moved to share this. I have been wondering, what do I do next? What is this next chapter of my life asking of me? And I think the main thing that's being asked of me, and maybe of you, is to choose and understand that you have the free will to choose. And that's scary. That is very scary, because we've never had this much liberation and freedom in our life. At least I hadn't. I worked really hard. My parents worked really hard to get me the education that they did, to get me to a university, a college. I was the first in my family to attend one. Yeah. And the corporate job at the time felt like the biggest blessing, and it continues to sustain me even now, even though I got laid off a year ago. Savings from that job is helping me stay afloat, right? And yeah, I think it is a fascinating journey to understand, do I keep playing that game of going back and forth with this corporate job, work, leave, quit, save the money that I've saved up, allow that to sustain me? And this time, I think I'm declaring that I will not go back. I will not go back, and that's scary because I've just applied to 2 jobs that seemed like a really possible opportunity, and I've been kind of considering them so I can pay off my debt and take care of my sick dog and, take care of myself on planet Earth as well. But I'm declaring that I won't do that. So going back to, I guess that was a tangent. So going back to the download that hit me in the center of my chest that I feel so moved to share is, what is the difference? What is the difference between our gifts and our calling? That gives me chills. I think our calling is something that brings around about a visceral reaction in your body, like I'm feeling right now. Goosebumps and expansion in my heart center. A calling is your dharma. A calling is something so much bigger than you. A calling is your duty and your service to other souls on this earth. If you are a healer, if you are a seeker, and you've taken birth in this lifetime, it is your dharma. It is our dharma. It is our duty to give back, to help other vessels expand and grow and open them up as well. As painful as that can be, we all know that from experience. A calling is something so much bigger than us. And that calling often sustains us on planet Earth, because the calling moves through you, and so in return the universe gives you as well. And it looks like money, often, but some sort of sustenance. And then your gifts are I wouldn't call them hobbies. I think your gifts are still gifts from spirit, from the sacred one, for all the work that you're doing to clearing your channels, along with, some of my gifts, or I thought, even some of my callings, I had confused them to be my gifts, and they are, but then the gift has become a calling as well, if that makes sense. I write poetry, I enjoy singing, and my main practice being tea ceremonies. And then through tea ceremonies, my vessel is cleared so much, the gift of energy healing has also shown up. And so many more gifts. Oh my goodness, abundance, abundance. This universe is abundant. And I'm just truly, truly grateful for today's eclipse energy and the tea ceremony that's brought me this clarity, that my calling is to serve humanity, to serve the souls through tea ceremonies and energy healing, and to help their vessels open up and expand and move that through them so they can do the same for all of the others that might be stuck, and all the suffering that's going on around the world. And I'm going to continue to nourish my gifts, and I'm enjoying singing, and I'm going to continue to write poetry. But I understand that calling is not to be messed with. That calling is so sacred, and I have prayed and I prayed and I prayed. The first question I asked my first spiritual teacher, before I knew she was going to be my spiritual teacher, the first question I asked her was, how do you know what your dharma is? And that was in November of 2020. I asked her, how do you know what your dharma is? For so long I've been waiting for my dharma. And so many healers and so many confirmations from the universe. Gosh, so many confirmations. And yet I've continued to question it. And I think today I will stop questioning it. I'm going to stop questioning it, because this calling is so much bigger than me. It's beyond me. I am nobody. I'm simply a vessel. I think those gifts are for me to enjoy. Yeah, maybe that's what's coming through, the singing and the poetry are for me to enjoy and maybe process and decompress. But then when it comes to tea and when it comes to energy healing, that is my duty to the world. For all that the spirit has endowed upon me, this is my way to continue this forward. And I think that channeling and the download feels complete. Thank you for listening if you've made it this far. And Tea Spirit, may you continue to guide my way, and may I continue to serve the leaf and be a vessel of your divine love. May we all continue to be a vessel of divine love.